Hey everybody, NavyDoc5184 here. Welcome to another reaction video, and today we are reacting to Queen's Live Aid performance. So, I've been waiting to get to this reaction for a very, very long time. I have seen this performance many times, and like the feeling, like it never fades. This is something I'll never get sick of. This is probably one of the best live performances ever. I don't mean just Queen live performances. I mean live performances, period. There are very few that will even come close to rivaling this. And that's going to be a whole debate that I'll probably get into on another time, but not worried about that right now. This part is only their full band performance. I did have a video that had their full performance where it also would cut to later on in the night when it was Freddie and Brian performing. I think the song was called The World I've Created, or The World That We've Created, something like that. But that video ended up getting blocked. So I had to try to find another video, and this was the best one that I could come up with. Unfortunately, it does not have The World I Created, so I'll try to find that one and do a separate reaction to that one. But for now, we're just gonna bask in the glory that is Queen at Live Aid. I'm going to leave a link to this video down in the description below and in this over here. And I'm going to warn you all right now, I'm probably going to be singing along on some of these. So, sorry, not sorry. I'm not apologizing for it, because I can darn well guarantee that y'all are probably singing along too. So, who cares if I'm singing along with it too? Let's go ahead and get this thing started.
Just begun, but now I'm gonna throw it all away. Oh, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, 'cause nothing really matters.
You know, isn't it amazing how on even a song like this, you know, it has like a kind of like a nice slow feel. I mean, we all know Bohemian Rhapsody, so but it's like how much energy is even in that, in a song like this. I mean, it is freaking amazing. Dude, this oh man, I wish I could have seen this as it happened. Not even gonna lie, I wish I could have seen this as it happened, even if it was only on the TV, because this had to have been something special to behold. Actually, now that I think about it, I technically could have, because by the time this happened, I would have been a year old. So it is very possible that I did. There's just no way I'm going to remember that at a year old, but I'm going to have to ask my mom about that.
Too late, my time has come. Send shivers down my spine. Body's aching all the time. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Gonna leave you all behind. I fight for truth. Mama, I don't wanna die. Sometimes wish I'd never been born at all.
There go Brian. There go Brian. Get it. There it is. And that was just them starting. That is why I like to call the butter up period, where they're just getting you buttered up, and now we're really going in full force. Not even lying, guys. I think this is probably my favorite Roger song. This, and the more I've listened to this, the more I feel like this song is probably like my favorite of the bit. I don't know why. Probably just because of how much energy there is and how interactive this song is. That's probably what gets me. But yeah. Oh my goodness, man. Have I mentioned before how much I wish I could have seen this as it happened? I think I have. If I have, oh well, I'm saying it again. And you know what? I'll probably say it again because the more and more I go through this, the more it's like, there's only so much of the energy you can, recreate on this. But can you imagine the feeling just seeing this for the first time as it was happening? Oh boy, this is something special, man. This is something special. Did you all see? Make sure you will wind this back a little bit, probably like a good 5 seconds or so. But you saw like the security people in the yellow, like right before, how they're all looking up at the stage. It's like they are not watching the crowd at all. They are watching the performance. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know about this performance, I don't know what will actually know what. No, I do. Did you see how the crowd was interacting? And it's only gonna get better. There, right down the bottom right. You see them? right, music aficionados, how many of y'all have heard the note heard around the world? We about to witness it. If you do not know what I'm talking about, I will let you know when we there. Note heard around the world, they call it. Listen to that crowd play along with them. Here it is.
All right.
He had them so much in the palm of his hands. They repeated him after he said all right. And that was not even a part of what he was having them repeat, but they did it anyways. And the fact that when he held that note, then he just put his hand up and they all held that until he gave the signal to stop. If that ain't, there are only a few people I've ever seen that have had that type of crowd control. The only one that I can really recall off the top of my head that ever came anywhere that close was Michael Jackson. I know a lot of you will probably have a problem with that, but if you watch his performances, especially during his Dangerous tour, you cannot argue that he had about as much crowd control as Freddie did here, because he could stand on a stage for like 5 minutes, do absolutely nothing, that crowd will stay loud, and then he just snaps his head to another direction and they take it up to a whole nother decibel, probably another 100 decibels. And then he would slowly take off his sunglasses and they would get louder, and he hadn't even started singing yet. Then he would start performing and the crowd was just with him. They were all buttered up, they were warmed up, and at that point Michael could do whatever he wanted and that crowd was with him, But in terms of like I said, at this point, Michael's just getting there, but Queen had definitely had that crowd control too. And like I said, Michael Jackson's probably the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that would really come close. And holy crap, I love seeing stuff like that. It's like such a psychology that people really don't seem to really fully understand, that's associated with music and music performances, the psychology behind it. Why do you do what you do? Having the songs get there, or not the songs, but the audience, playing along and all that. It's such an art, and Freddie Mercury is definitely one of those masters. One of my favorite songs right here. Not a top 5, top 10 for me.
Here we stand, here we fall. History don't care at all. Make a bed like the light. Lady, but she won't be home tonight. You don't waste no time at all. Don't hear the bell, but you answer the call. Comes to you as to us talk. And it's time for the hammer to fall. Every night, every day, a little piece of you is falling away.
I love how he's playing along with the cameraman.
The Western wave. Try your line and play that game. Till the anesthetic covers it all. Till one day they call your name. Then it's time for the hammer to fall. Rich or poor or famous, by or to, it's all I say. I know.
Yeah, this was definitely a good number to do for a live performance. I love this song so much, and I wish I could really pinpoint what it is about this song that I love. But to be perfectly honest, I think it's probably more nostalgic reasons because when I reacted to Queen, Who Wants to Live Forever, their live Wembley performance of that, I was talking about how that was like one of the first Queen songs I've heard because of the movie Highlander, and this song was on that movie. So it's like even though I'd had no idea really Queen was all about, it almost seems kind of weird for someone who didn't live in the Queen era. I mean, I guess technically you could say I did, but I don't really remember Queen, as a kid up until watching the movie Highlander. Their songs there, and then Wayne's World was when I was introduced to Bohemian Rhapsody. So, it just feels weird as someone who didn't grow up, remembering Queen. And usually Bohemian Rhapsody is a song that people get introduced to them to, or maybe even We Will Rock You, just because it's such a staple like sporting events. It feels like you always would hear it at any sort of sporting event, you know. And I remember when I first learned that was Queen, that blew my mind. I was like, I didn't know that was an actual song. I thought it was something they just made up for sporting events. But yeah, but this song, like I said, the movie Highlander, it's probably just pure nostalgic reasons that I love this song so much. But even when I look at it from a musical standpoint, I mean, it's like, what is there to not like about this song? I mean, it's like, ooh, I mean, the energy, the guitar, like everybody's just so into it. It's amazing, amazing song. Can't tell if he was holding his mic like a bat or a sword. I mean, this was from Highlanders, so the sword is a very strong possibility. I can't help but wonder, and this is something that I've got to research. So this is something I've got to research because, I've heard the story, the stories about how it was, how he came, the whole half mic stand bit. And I know they played with that in the movie, how he was trying to adjust it and ended up breaking it, and he just kind of rolled with it. Which, knowing Freddie and his personality, I could have seen that as being true. But I really need research. How did he come up with that idea? I mean, it's so unique. I mean, it's like you see some people with, just the mics by themselves or whatever, but the fact that, he's got half a stand with him, and it adds such a whole new dimension with it, because he's able to play along with it, air guitar on it, and so much other stuff that it's like the stand itself is almost like another member of the band, if you know what I mean. It's such a unique thing, and I'm very curious on how he came up with it. I'm gonna have to research that. Alright, so just real quick though, can you imagine like a crowd like this in 1985, summer of 1985, mind you, I don't know what the weather in London is like at that time of year, but I can't imagine it being cool. And then you got all those bodies crowded so close together. Can you imagine how hot it was in that stadium? I mean, and like, who's going to the bathroom and, you know, trying to get back to your spot after this? You know, it's like, it's just, you know, it's weird thinking about logistics and kind of stuff like that. But I'm like, I honestly really hope that somebody was just kind of like spraying hoses and whatever, like in the crowds, because I feel like that's the only way anyone was going to be able to stay cool or even stay hydrated, really. And this performance was when I first learned that Freddie knew how to play the guitar, and I was like, even though it was just only him doing the rhythm, I was like, I didn't know Freddie knew how to play guitar. I had no idea. No idea. I thought he only knew how to play piano.
This next song is only dedicated to beautiful people here tonight. It means all of you. Thank you for coming along.
The ultimate showman, man.
And making this a great occasion. Listen, show love. I just can't handle it, this thing. Show love. I must get round to it. Ain't ready. Crazy little thing of love. This thing, show love. It cries in a cradle all night. It sweets. It jives. Shakes all over like a jellyfish. You gotta like it. Crazy little thing.
You know what I really love about this song? Well, I don't know if I would probably put. If it's not in my top 10, it's really close. You know, and it's like, I would dare say, like, I really don't find anything special about it, but at the same time, what makes it special is the fact that it is like such a great throwback to old school rock and roll. It's almost like you wouldn't believe it was written and released at the time that it was. It feels like that it should have been, you know, released almost 10, 15 years prior, because that is like straight old school R&B rock and roll, you know, that they are doing with this song, you know. And I love the fact that they were able to pay homage to that type of rock and roll, you know. It's like, you know I talk about, you know, how they like hit on so many different genres for their music, but I think this is one of those songs I think deserves a lot more love in terms of you know, the throwback, you know, because most people, you know, I think consider Queen a rock band anyway, so maybe they don't really think much about this song. But it's like when you listen to their whole catalog and the fact, you know, and think about when they released this song, you know, like you're talking the era where, you know, there's like disco, funk, soul, and all that, and then, you know, in even the rock and roll was, you know, progressing, and then they do a song that is such a throwback. It's like I said, there's like nothing really special about the song, but that's what makes it special, if you understand what I mean.
There goes my baby. She knows I'm around. She drives me crazy. She gives me all over the sweat. Gotta be cool, relax, get hip, get on my tracks, take a backseat, hitchhike. Take a long ride on that bike and do ready. Crazy little thing.
Even the guitar solo has like an old school rock and roll vibe to it, you know? Listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd.
A hitchhike. Take a long ride on my motorbike to ready.
Ready?
Crazy little thing I love.
I was about to lose it for a second. Like, wait, what's going on? And I know I'm not the only one that noticed, but it's like, it's amazing how great they are with their performances. How great they are with their performances. How freaking Brian played 3 different guitars in this song. He's on his 3rd guitar right now. And I'm sure y'all noticed that, but if you didn't, I hope I taught you something new. Because he started off playing acoustic, and then he switched to, not the guitar, his normal guitar, but, switched to another electric guitar for that first solo, which was probably on purpose because, I know that his guitar that he normally uses, was a custom guitar of his, but he probably wanted another guitar to help get that old school vibe. Now he's on his guitar, and it's like you can hear the difference. If you know Brian May's guitar solos, you can tell, that the first guitar that he was using for the first solo was not his normal guitar, whereas this one, that is Brian May. This had to be so much fun. Alright, y'all. So, chances are you've all seen this performance already. You know what the hell's coming up. We all need to play along. I'm just going to say that much. If you don't know what's coming up, you will. Alright, so bittersweet song this is. Because me and my younger brother played softball. We were heading to the state championships, I believe. And our mom had called a radio station that she loves listening to. It was a classic rock station. And she requested this song. And she let them know that we were on our way to the game. So when you make, back in the day when you would make requests to the radio station, you have no idea when they're going to get that song played. Sure enough, like 5 minutes later on that station, that song was playing. Unfortunately, we lost. But every time I hear this song, I think about that day, us going to the state championship and being so pumped, and unfortunately not getting there, but you know what? Whatever. It was all good. It's all good.
mistakes. I've made a few. I've hurt myself and in my past, but I've come through. We are champions, my friend, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions.
Look at that crowd, yo.
My vows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all. But it's been a bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before all human race.
Does anything really need to be said, y'all? Does anything really need to be said? There is nothing that I could add to what I've already said. There's nothing that I could add to what anybody else has already said. You know, this has got to be, one of the greatest performances of all time by anybody. You know, it's hard pressed for me to find any ones better. This is definitely probably in my top performances. And this wasn't even the full performance. There's one song that's still left on that, but this together with the full band, it's just like, it is hard to touch this, and it's just, oh man. Like I said, there's nothing that I can add to this, so I'm not going to try. I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as I did. This is always such a joy to relive and listen to again, because it's just such a work of art. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure you click on this guy right up here so you can see some of my other Queen reactions, and leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the performances, and if you have any other Queen suggestions, let me know, and I'll catch y'all down the road.